friends, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. I hope you're having a great day today. It is Thursday, March 4th. Yeah, it's the 4th day of March. Let's look at our calendar. We've got our kitten calendar here, and we're on the 4th day. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. It's the 4th day. And right above it is the abbreviation for Thursday, THU. So it's the 4th day, and at the very bottom it says March 2021. Well, I've got a great book for us to start with, and it rhymes. This is called The Mouse That Snored. This is a silly book. Let's look at this. Once there was a quiet man, as quiet as a mouse. He lived in the country in a very quiet house. So there's this house right there. The quiet man's quiet wife padded about in slippers. She never made the faintest sound, not even while zipping zippers. Wow, so there's her right there. We see her zipping a zipper. They had a cat named Mosey who went about on tippy toesies, and a parrot named Will whose only words were, "Hush, be still." While Will was on the perch, which would usually stare, Mosey mostly slept on a parlor chair. Ooh, let's find out what happens. The quiet man, the quiet woman, the quiet cat and bird ate their dinner, sipped their drink, and never spoke a word. Ooh, I don't know if I'd like that kind of party. Now, would they dare eat noisy food like a crunchy celery, munchy radishes, or a snappy carrot? Not even the parrot. They ate instead stewed tomatoes, mashed potatoes, and puddings made of bread. Ooh, so this is the thing they didn't eat. See the celery right there? At bedtime, they switched off the light and ever so softly whispered, "Good night." "Good night," said the man. "Good night," said the woman. "Good night," said Mosey to Will. "Hush," said Will, "be still." And silently they slept, not a cough, not a sneeze. The only sound heard was the wind in the trees. Ooh, look at these pictures. One stormy night, while everyone slept, into the house a little mouse crept. He was a city mouse with city ways, who was tired and hungry and had seen better days. Okay, so there's the mouse right there. "Now for something to eat," said the mouse to himself, and he quickly found food on the pantry shelf. "I hear something," thought the woman, awake in her bed. "I hear something," thought the man, raising his head. "I hear something," thought the cat in the chair. The bird opened his eyes and began to stare. The mouse, now sleepy himself and too full to eat any more, yawned, fell asleep on the shelf, and at once began to snore. And oh, what snores! His snores were roars with whistling encores, and each snore was louder than the snore before. My goodness. The mouse snoring right there, that's what the Z's are. He snored so loudly, pots and pans rattled and rumbled. A freshly baked cake immediately crumbled. The light fixture began to tremble and sway, which startled the cat, who kicked over a tray. Glassware clinked, dishes clattered, a bowl from the cupboard fell and shattered. The lamp on the bureau overturned, water in the fish tank gurgled and churned. Oh my goodness. Look at everything going on. Wow-wee. Shutters flew open, noisily banging. A picture dropped from where it was hanging. Furniture danced about the floor. A parlor chair went out the door. Oh my goodness, look at the chair flying out the door. Oh, let's find out what happens. And bouncing on his porch, poor Will frantically screeched, "Hush, be still." Oh, Bill's had enough. The snores were so loud, the house began to quake. The snores were so loud, the mouse was shaken awake. The mouse opened his eyes, looked about in surprise, and could hardly utter a word, for standing before the mouse with the snore was the man, the woman, the cat, and the bird. Quick on his feet, and to break all the ice, the mouse said, "Your house is very nice. And oh my gracious, this pantry is spacious. And I've never quite seen anything like this soup tureen." "Hush," screeched the bird. "Be still. Taoist," said the man, "if you will." "Why are you here?" said the cat. "Yes," said the woman. "Please explain that." "Very well," said the mouse. "I will explain. It was all because of that cold, cold rain." Ooh, look at the rain. "It was the storm that drove you into the house, a lost, frightened, hungry, drenched to the whiskers, ever so tired, wandering, homeless mouse." "Ah," whispered the woman, "how sad." "Ah," whispered the man, "it's really too bad." "And now I will go," said the mouse, "sorry to have stirred up this fuss." "Nonsense," they cried, "you will stay here with us." He was taught to speak in hushed whispers and to sound out his words softly but crisper, to sit quietly in his chair and never rattle the silverware, to make sure to laugh in very soft chuckles, and once and for all stop cracking his knuckles. One thing they taught him that made him feel proud: he learned to sneeze, but not out loud. Soon it was clear for all to see he was as quiet as a mouse ought to be, except, ooh, let's find out what happens when he was asleep. For then, even louder than before, the mouse continued to snore and snore. And through the house, his snores could be heard, but not by the man, oh no, and not by the woman, oh no, 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 and not by the cat or the bird, no, 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 no. They slept peacefully and cozy as bugs. Ooh, we've got to find out what's going on with this. For now, each one goes to sleep wearing earplugs. Oh, how silly. That was a really fun book. That was called The Mouse That Snored. Yeah. Okay, I've got another great book right here for us to look at. And this is called Not Normand, a goldfish story. And that's Norman the goldfish right there. Let's look at this. Ooh, great opening pages. I love the illustrations. When I got Normand, I didn't want to keep him. I wanted a different kind of pet, not Normand. Okay, so I guess he got Normand for his birthday. Let's find out what happens. "I wanted a pet who could run and catch, or one who could climb trees and chase strings, a soft, furry pet to sleep on my bed at night. Not Normand. All Normand does is swim around and around and around and around and around and around and around." So we see Normand right here at the park. Yeah, and there's Normand right there swimming around and around. "This is Normand," I decide. "That is it. I'm trading you for a good pet. Normand doesn't move. Not even a fin twitches. How can I trade him like this? No one will want a sorry-looking fish in a gunky fish bowl." Ooh, let's find out what happens. When I drop Norman into his nice clean bowl, he starts dipping and flipping and flapping his fins about. He looks so goofy, I have to laugh. "Don't think that just because you made me laugh, I'm going to keep you," I tell him. "Tomorrow, you're out of here." Norman blows a stream of bubbles. Ooh, look at Norman jumping out of the fish bowl there. The next day, I take Norman to school with me. If I talk him up real good during show and tell, maybe someone will want him. On the way there, we see my friend Austin. Austin has a really cool dog and 7 puppies. "Want to swap one of your puppies for Norman?" I ask. "Who's Norman?" asks Austin. "My goldfish," I say. "But by the time I rescue Norman, half of his water is gone." Oh, look, the puppies are getting into the fishbowl and drinking the water. I'm sorry, I tell Norman when we get to school. I'm really sorry. He just stares at me all googly-eyed. Finally, it's my turn to show and tell. Just as I start to talk about goldfish, Emily shouts, "Jenny's gone! Who let my snake loose?" Ooh, let's find out what happened. Does anyone hear the story of how I got Norman? Does anyone even ask to hold his bowl? No, they're all jumping and screaming and chasing the snake. Not Norman. He's looking right at me. Thanks for listening, I tell him. Oh, I look at the classroom. Everybody's looking for the missing snake. That afternoon, we go to my music lesson, and as soon as it's over, I'm taking Norman back to the pet store. I take out my tuba and get to begin to play. I glance over at Norman. He's swaying back and forth. Glug, 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 he mouths. Look, Norman, singing, I say. Pay attention, snaps Maestro, and try to play the proper notes. Maestro makes me stay for extra practice. By the time my lesson is over, it's too late to go to the pet store. Don't think that just because you like my music, I'm going to keep you, I tell Norman. He glugs. Ooh, see how it's getting dark in the illustrations? Yeah. Let's find out what happens. That night, I'm asleep when the screech, scritch, what's that noise? Scratch, scritch, screech. Yikes, there's something at the window. Then out of the corner of my eye, I spot, let's find out what he sees. Norman! He isn't scared. He isn't swimming around in circles either. He glugs and gives me a little wave. I'm not alone. Together, Norman and I slide open the curtains. It was just a broken tree branch. Thanks for watching out for me, Norman. On Saturday, I take Norman to the pet store, just like I said I would. I look at the cats and the dogs and the snakes and the birds. I look at the hamsters and mice and lizards too. And they all look like good pets, but they are not Norman. When I got Norman, I wasn't sure I wanted to keep him. But now, even if I could pick any pet in the whole world, I wouldn't trade him. Not Norman. And the sign right here says Norman, one amazing fish. That was a great book. It was called Not Norman. Well, I hope you have a great day today, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye, friends.